Well, good evening, everyone. Happy Detox Diva Day, Thursday, June 12th. Can you believe we are halfway through the halfway month already of this year? It's just so crazy to think about. I hope those of you that set goals at the beginning of the year are working hard on that. Right now is a great checkpoint to kind of reevaluate what goals you set. Hopefully, you wrote them down, see where you're at for your progress. And if you're not quite there yet, give yourself a little boost and some love and go for it, because you've still got 6 months left to close the year strong, whatever goals you've set, whether they're personal, financial, health, whatever they are. Do a little bit of reevaluation and see where you're at. So we're going to go get started. I was having a conversation with a client the other day. Sorry, my light was in the way. And she has a young son that is in testing right now, being tested for an autoimmune disease. And I'm like, girl, you just gave me a topic for this week's Diva call, because that's the hardest part. Like, I love the research part. I love putting all this stuff together, but coming up with the topic is hard. So if you ever have any suggestions on what you'd like me to cover on these calls, I'd be more than happy to cover that and to go into it. So welcome to this deep dive Detox Diva call. It's a full spectrum look at autoimmune diseases, from what it is, how it forms, and how to reclaim your health by addressing the whole person. And of course, introduction here. My name is Tina. I'm a mindset coach. I'm a root cause researcher, because anything can be fixed if it's a root cause. Well, pretty much everything. If not, you can pretty much get it into remission. And I'm the founder of the Detox Divas. And I've walked through a lot of trauma in my life, and we're going to kind of talk on that tonight. From childhood, I've had my addiction, unimaginable losses, and I turned that pain into my purpose, and my own healing journey led me to create this wellness community. I'm always on the research, for products that are going to help restore the body. And I believe the body is absolutely brilliant and beautiful. Symptoms are signals, and healing is always possible when you start at the root. So let's get started here. This is our amazing CEO and her husband, Ben Scarcella. They are the CEO and the vice president, Paula being the CEO. And what makes Green Organics companies different than other companies out there in the market? We're purpose driven. We put people and their health first. We are earth friendly, committed to sustainability every step of the way. We're farm direct sourcing, non-GMO ingredients, whoop, whoop, and straight from farmers. There's no middleman ever. That saves our customers so much money by doing it that way. And we proudly back all of our products with a 60-day buy and try guarantee. If it doesn't work, just return it. So with over 200 products and 8 years of consistent growth, HBN is built on authenticity, transparency, and fairness, creating a place where everyone can thrive. So if you're new here, let us know in the chat so we can love on you. And Larice, that should be in the group. Where do you find Ben's story? Ben's story is an amazing documentation that they did of Ben's healing journey. Ben was diagnosed with a severe vascular issue going on, where the vascular system surrounding his stomach was inflamed, and it was not looking good for healing. And Paula reached out to her dear friend, Alexandria. And this is Alexandria. She's world-renowned master herbalist with over 40 years of experience in aromatherapy, herbology, natural health, originally trained in the French style of aromatherapy and influenced by traditional Ayurvedic and Western botanical medicine. The French medicinal side of that plays a lot into her knowledge. The French are very in tune with the essential oils. Plant medicine are way far ahead of us when it comes to healing the body holistically. She's truly the mother of essential oils. She's highly intuitive. Everything she does is with intention. Everything she creates is with intention. And with her developing Mind, Body, and Soul, the 3 flagship products of Heart and Body Naturals, Ben's condition was reversed in 6 weeks. There's blood tests and everything in that story. So before we go any farther, we do want to give a quick disclaimer here. The information shared during this presentation is for educational purposes only and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. The statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. The products and protocols discussed are intended to support the body's natural processes and overall wellness. Individual results will vary based on environment, things that are going on, and things that they choose not to change. And hopefully after tonight's call, many of you that have not made big changes in your health will kind of see, and we'll start doing that. So I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. The products discussed are not intended to substitute for professional medical care. And by participating tonight or on replay, with this presentation, you do agree to take full responsibility for your own health decisions and outcomes. So what is autoimmune disease? Let me know in the chat how many of you know someone, and I bet I get 100% out of that, or you yourself have experienced an autoimmune disease. Autoimmune diseases happen when the immune system loses its ability to distinguish self from invader. It begins to attack the body's own tissues, believing that they are dangerous. So it's trying to protect you. And this self-attack can target organs, joints, skin, glands, and even the nervous system. So there's over 24 million people in the United States are diagnosed with autoimmune conditions, with many more undiagnosed. And we're going to talk about those sleeper cells that are happening within the body. Autoimmune issues now rank as one of the top 10 causes of death in women under 65. Common types include Hashimoto's, type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, which my husband has and treats with medicine, lupus, celiac. Autoimmunity is not random. It's a final adaptation to long-term unresolved stress on the body and the mind. So where does it begin? Genetics versus environment. How many times have you heard someone say, or maybe even yourself have said, I can't help it, it's genetic, my parents had it too? Well, let's break that down. Genetic refers to the DNA you inherit from your parents, your biological blueprint. These are fixed sequences that determine traits like eye color and blood type, but having a gene doesn't mean you'll express the associated disease. It's the epigenetic environment that activates or silences them. Did you guys know that? So epigenetics, you can't change your genes, but you can change the way your genes express, are based on what you eat, how you detox, your emotional experiences, your stress level, your toxic exposures, and your thoughts and beliefs about yourself and things that take place in your life. Think of genetics like a blueprint, and your environment determines whether the lights get turned on or turned off. Genes may load the gun, but your environment pulls the trigger. And that's Dr. Pamela Peakey. So what are the triggers that turn on this autoimmune system within our body? And the autoimmune diseases don't just appear out of nowhere. It is genetic, but there are ways to help support the body, help put it in remission. And we are going to talk about that tonight. It's turned on by cumulative stressors that overwhelm your body's ability to regulate and repair. These triggers can be physical, like gut infections or toxins, emotional, like trauma and chronic stress, environment, like mold and chemicals that we're exposed to. But for most people, it's not just one trigger, but a stacking of many, many, many of them over time. And when the burden becomes too heavy, the immune system misfires, inflammation spirals, and symptoms begin to show up. So identifying and removing these root triggers is the first really essential step towards reversing, putting it in remission, not just managing it like medicine does. Medicine just kind of puts a Band-Aid over it. But again, just like we've been talking about with the GLP-1 reset, those shots and stuff are so dangerous for people that are trying to lose weight. It is a Band-Aid, and it's forcing the body into a reactive state to that pharmaceutical, Whereas if you dig down and you start removing these toxins and you start treating your body with the love it deserves and cleaning things out, that's going to help you manage that so much better. So here's how long common toxins stay in your body. How about that? Coffee toxins stay about 10 hours, diet sodas 12, alcohol 12 to 14, dairy 24 to 48. Processed meat 12 to 48 hours. Think about that. If you eat like a loose meat sandwich every day, that's processed meat. Then you've got your carbs from that bun or that bread, the GMO and things like that. And then you add your fake cheese in there, maybe some mayonnaise. Then you've got all these toxins that are flowing through your body and lasting for like a gluten 2 to 3 days. So if you have a sandwich every day, you're compounding, everybody will say, well, it's just a little bit. Well, it's just a little bit. Well, you can see how that little bit is never really going to get out of your system. It's going to stay in there because you keep exposing yourself. Look at the refined sugar. How many times in a month, in a week, in a day do you eat refined sugars? That stays in your body from 3 to 10 days. Now, a little bit of sugar is not going to hurt you. But if you're eating it every day, you've got 30 days times 10 days each, like it's just compounding within your body. And it's no wonder the inflammation is trying to protect you. So you've got your lifestyle triggers. Lifestyle triggers are the slow burn contributors to the immune dysfunction. And these are the everyday habits, your routines and exposures that silently shape your internal environment. Over time, they compound and create an immune system that is hypervigilant in trying to protect you. It's dysregulated and it's inflamed. So your poor diet, just talked about that. Lack of movement. How much movement are you doing every day? Because we've talked about that on the detox calls too. If you're not moving your body, your detox pathways are not functioning correctly. And then those toxins are going to stay in your body even longer because you're not letting them out. Sleep deprivation. Sleep is when your body regenerates, balances hormones, and resets the immune system. And chronic sleep loss increases your cortisol, decreases melatonin, impairs the immune tolerance, and that sets the stage for immune flares. If you have an autoimmune disease and you're not sleeping well, I'll bet you probably have more intense activity with whatever disease it is that you have. Blue light and screen time. I could not type that out without thinking of Coach Will and having those blue light blockers that we should all be wearing, that I should have on right now, actually. And screen time, overexposure to screens, especially at night when the lights are dim and the only light really is the one that you're looking at from your cell phone. That is, it's going to disrupt the melatonin production, the circadian rhythms, the mitochondrial function, and hormone regulation, all of which are essential for immune modulation. Chronic medications. I know that a lot of us do. Like for me, if I get a bee sting, you bet your fanny I am taking my EpiPen. Of course, I will do a full detox after. But so the chronic medications, there is a report in your back office. I believe that customers, if you're a customer also, there is an HBN library back there. And under the whole body tab is a report that was done on Tylenol. Tylenol is the third leading cause of liver failure. So that's just one of them. And that can also the birth control, the antidepressants, the antibiotics. Antibiotics are horrible for gut health. Anytime you know someone that's been on antibiotics, they need to get on gut check right away to restore that microbiome. They also disrupt the natural immune signaling over time. So if you have something that's suppressing your immune system because it's overreacting, your immune system is not going to know how to function by itself. And that's why things like black seed oil and fulvic acid are really important, because that helps rebuild that immune time. And then isolation and stress. Your mental health is a huge trigger. in how your body stores the energy, the negative energy within the cells, and makes you sick. Tox Be Gone. Yes, Tara, thank you. That was a great suggestion too. Tox Be Gone is great for any time after antibiotics. Also, I always forget about that. So each of these lifestyle factors creates small disruptions that compound. And when stacked together, they create the perfect storm for autoimmunity to turn on. Think of a Jenga game. One block isn't going to do anything if it falls over, really, right? But if you're doing the big yard one and you've got all these blocks stacked on top of each other, you've got this giant tower. And when it falls out, your immune system just crashes and it starts attacking the body. So hopefully that visual kind of put this all into light for you on how that works. Then you have your physical triggers. And the physical triggers directly challenge the immune system through infection, toxicity, or structural damage. And they compromise the key systems like the gut, the liver, the nervous system, leaving the body vulnerable to misidentification and self-attack. So misidentification, for instance, rheumatoid arthritis. My husband, his inflammation attacks his knees and ankles and sometimes his shoulders. So that's where he gets most attacked. Leaky gut. So when the gut lining is damaged, for years, I didn't know what leaky gut was. I thought it was just kind of I just thought it was kind of a trendy word, but now I truly understand. So when the gut lining is damaged, food particles, toxins, and microbes escape into the bloodstream, triggering an immune response because things are outside in the bloodstream that don't belong there. So your immune system, the army that's protecting you, is going to come in and say, whoa, 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 you don't belong here. And over time, this creates a chronic low-grade inflammation in the production of autoantibodies. Then you have your pathogen load, chronic infections like parasites, candida, Epstein-Barr virus, Lyme, places, they're all going stress, they're giving you stress on that immune system. And these organisms often mimic human tissue, leading to molecular mimicry, where the immune system starts attacking its own cells. So that's one of the reasons that we have to get those parasites out too, or at least do that liver detox, get your body moving and drinking that water and that vitality. Then you have mold and mycotoxins. Exposure to toxic mold releases the mycotoxins, and that dysregulates the immune system, inflames the brain, triggers the autoimmune conditions like MS or lupus. So mold and mycotoxins, get your house clean, have a mold test. Protector is an excellent essential oil to be diffusing in your house that's going to help with that mold issue if you do have mold. So I would definitely have Protector going if you've got mold in your house. If you've ever had a leak in your walls or in your floors, Protector is going to be one of your best friends. And then you've got your heavy metals, which we know that is a gourmet buffet for the parasite. So then you've got a double thing right there. And metals like mercury, aluminum, lead, and arsenic act as neurotoxins and endocrine disruptors, and they alter the genes, deplete the antioxidants, and damage the immune receptors. And that leads to persistent autoimmunity. Oregano kills mold too. It does, Rick. I think oregano, for me personally, is kind of strong. I would have to add some other oils into it to kind of not diffuse, what's the word? Not deregulate, but dampen the smell a little bit, because oregano is like the big guns. Dilute. Thank you, Coach Marcus. And then you have your endocrine disruptors, and those are found in plastics, pesticides, nonstick cookware, synthetic fragrances, and these chemicals interfere with the hormone signaling. Hormonal chaos destabilizes immune checkpoints and encourages inflammatory loops. I almost took a picture yesterday when I was at the gas station. It was one of our days, one of our 3 days. We've been above 80 degrees here in Iowa, and the sun was shining on the front of the gas station. And outside were two huge pallets of bottled water sitting there in the sun for sale with a sale sign on it. Now, when you think about that, think about what happens when you heat plastic and then you have it you have your water that you're going to drink in that plastic bottle. The sun's heating that up. All those chemicals are being leached into the body. You're drinking all of those chemicals through that water clean water, all these fancy names. And we don't know if those bottles of water that are in the coolers in the gas station have been from one of those packs that have been outside. So yeah, don't trust that bottled water because it could have been sitting outside. I mean, think about the hot trucks in the summer, just those hot semi trucks driving around 90, 100 degrees with that bottled water in the back, leaching those chemicals into that water. And then they go put it in the cooler and purified natural spring water. Oh, that looks really good. So physical triggers are often hidden, which is why many autoimmune protocols fail without properly identifying and addressing these root causes. Again, back to that root cause. Then you have your emotional triggers. Now, I've talked about this before on coaching calls, but when you walk into, say, a birthday party, and everyone is so excited, everyone is so happy, and you just feel that joy and that love that everybody has, versus say you walk into a funeral home and everyone is obviously sad, there's crying. You walk into, say, a board meeting and everyone's intense, somebody's getting fired, nobody knows what's going on. Those are energetic signals that can trigger past traumas. But it's also, if you have that past trauma, that's a stored energy within the cells. And so unhealed trauma and chronic emotional stress are some of the most underestimated but powerful contributors to this. So you got to learn to let go. You need one of my sweary affirmation cards that I just got in the mail yesterday. But your body remembers everything, even if your conscious mind does not. And when emotions are suppressed or trauma is unresolved, then they manifest in tissues as inflammation, the nervous system, dysregulation, and immune confusion. So experiences like childhood neglect, abuse, abandonment, grief, or betrayal imprint on that nervous system. And these emotional imprints reduce vagus nerve tone and keep the body in constant state of fight or flight. Then you have your chronic stress. Maybe you hate your job. I remember, man, I used to have this job, and every Sunday night I would just start crying because I hated my job so much. I did not want to go to work. And just the stress. Monday morning, I was sick to my stomach. And by Friday, I was just so relieved to be out of there. Then you have your suppressed emotions, unspoken anger, guilt, shame, sadness. They become stored in the body as energetic imprints as well, and they congest the liver. If you've ever done a liver cleanse with me and day 2, you are angry, you're bitter, you're just sad, you're crying, that is your liver releasing some of those emotions that you have not let go of, that you have not addressed. And so not only does a liver cleanse purge the toxins, but it's also going to help relieve some of those emotions that you've got stored in there. Anger is stored in the liver, actually. And then you've got the identity and worth wounds. Beliefs like, I'm not safe, I don't belong, I'm broken. And then for our industry, oh, they're just going to judge me. They're going to think I'm dumb. I'm too afraid to reach out. I'm not good enough to speak on this topic. Whatever, that creates that subconscious resistance to the healing. And the immune system responds to that internal fear as if it was a physical threat. And it launches protective but damaging attacks against the body. Have you ever been so upset you get sick to your stomach? That is that emotion attacking the stomach. And so you cannot fully heal the body without addressing the emotions living in it. And emotional healing is immune healing. So think about that. When you get triggered by something, think about back to when the first time you felt that and what that experience was, because that's probably a stored memory within your system, your body system, of unhealed trauma or betrayal, abandonment. I know for me, if I have abandonment issues, and so I always have to think about when I'm feeling that or feeling left out, then I have to think back to when that was and realize that's on them, that's not on me, and just experience it, but let it flow through me. Don't hold on to it. So if you take nothing else away from tonight, I hope that is one of them. So the development. So stage 1 is the silent inflammation. You feel tired, you feel foggy, maybe bloated, lab work comes back normal. They think you're crazy. There's no diagnosis yet, but the immune system is firing unnecessarily. So if those are some of the things that you're experiencing, this is a great call because you are farther ahead than some people that are on the prescriptions trying to fight this and keep it under control. Stage 2 is immune mistargeting. So your receptor sites are damaged, the gut lining, the thyroid, the joints, etc., and autoantibodies forming, the inflammation increases, the systems escalate. Then you have stage 3, your diagnosed autoimmunity. You finally received the diagnosis. You're no longer crazy. Your blood work is showing it. Your joints are swelling. Whatever that is, but often only after years of being gaslit. So by now you've got tissue destruction has begun and chronic symptoms have set in. So pay attention to those 3 things right there and kind of you don't have to let me know, but kind of think about that and work with a doctor that's on the more holistic side because they are out there. The body did not betray you with this. If you have this autoimmune thing, the body did not betray you. It adapted to survive. And now it's asking for help. So we're going to give it some help. So healing the roots, mind, body, and soul. Phase 1, remove the triggers, clean up your diet, address hidden infections, the parasite, the yeast, and the viruses. Never before a liver cleanse, though, please. Remove toxic exposures, household, personal care, and mold. Thankfully, we've got that product line that's being built out. Reduce synthetic meds if possible, but always work with your doctor to do that. Never go cold turkey. Always do that under supervision of a qualified medical provider. But if you work on healing your body and giving it the right tools it needs to heal, then some of those can probably start being taken away. So then phase 2, you've got to start repairing. You've got to clean it out. You've got to start repairing, rebuild that gut lining. Number 1, rebuild that gut lining. Restore mineral status, fulvic acid, whole food sources, rewire the cortisol and the circadian health, sleep, sun, and movement. Sleep, sun, movement. Get up a half an hour early, go outside, walk in the sunshine without sunscreen or sunglasses for 15 minutes. The sun's not at a place where it's going to hurt your skin or give you any adverse reactions. The sun is healing. And if you can do it, go barefoot, because that is also an energetic transfer from the earth. I mean, the earth grows our plants, our trees, our vegetables. What makes us think that we are less important to receive the nourishment and energy from the earth? And then replenish antioxidants and the mitochondrial fuel. Phase 3 is reset the mind-body loop. Address that trauma and trapped emotion. Shift identity from chronically ill. Vocabulary is huge. I am not an alcoholic. I have had a bad relationship with alcohol in the past. I'm not going to say my husband has rheumatoid arthritis. He is experiencing inflammation within the joints. So when you think about the words that you're saying, you're keeping yourself stuck when you use vocabulary that keeps you stuck. Practice self-compassion. And I'm so glad Sandra is on here. We were waiting outside the elevator to go up to the, I don't know, $1 million penthouse in Vegas. And she just looks around out of the blue and she says, everybody right now say, I love me. And I kind of looked at her like, I don't want to do that. I'd feel weird. But then she goes, no, I mean it. Everybody, I love me. So we all said, I love me. What a freeing moment that was. So I want you guys to look in the mirror every day when you're brushing your teeth and say, I love me. I'm so proud of the day I'm going to have. And I'm so proud of the day that I had yesterday. And just fill yourself with that gratitude, because that's not bragging, that's self-love. And then use emotional oils, journaling, prayer, breath work. I saw that go through the comments there. So mind, body, soul, just like our healing trilogy, right? And so what does healing look like? And here is a nervous system and emotional reset for you. One, you're going to acknowledge the trauma. Start by recognizing what you've been carrying it. Name it, witness it. You don't need to relive it every moment, but your body needs your permission to feel and let go. So one of the therapists that we worked with after we lost Cole, she said, think of it as a bus going by. Anytime one of those thoughts comes up, oh, there's a bus. It's green. Its name is yellow, its name is bus, whatever that is, acknowledge that it's a real thing and then watch it pass by. And if you're breathing correctly during this, you will feel it physically leave your body. There's a typo, sorry. Super safety, sorry, I don't know what that title is. I think I screwed up there. So your healing begins when your nervous system feels safe enough to soften, and that means breath work, grounding practices, nature time, safe relationships of people that you can talk to. I love all the I love me's going through the comments. Thank you. Have those girl talks, have those man talks, have those times where you feel safe that you can talk about your emotions. And counseling and therapy is nothing to be ashamed of. Detox emotions from the tissues. Use oil, movement, sweating, journaling, and voice work to help your body release those stored emotions. Sing. Even if you have a singing voice like me that sounds like somebody stepped on a cat, sing. Sing like you wrote that song. And this is where your healing gets physical. Even jumping up and down, shaking your arms is going to be something that's going to help release some of that trauma and those stored emotions. And then break the loop of limiting beliefs. Every time you catch yourself saying something negative about a situation or making excuses on why you didn't get it done, that's a procrastination limiting belief that has attached to a lot of people, procrastination. I'm guilty of that myself sometimes. And reprogramming tools like hypnosis, aroma tapping. There's a whole PDF on aroma tapping using the essential oils, complement it with the Seasons of Success line, and help reframe your identity wounds. And then build new emotional anchors. Start creating small rituals that build trust between you and your body, like applying your oils with intention each morning, sipping an herbal tea in stillness, and just thinking about the good things in your life, even if it's hard. Soaking in a healing bath, add those oils, the fulvic acid powder, the Epsom salts, things like that to help pull those toxins out. HEPA detox over the liver before you get in, and gently placing your hand on your heart and reminding yourself, I've got you, you're safe. And once you start doing that, you're going to start releasing some of those emotional triggers. Now, as far as product uses, so that's the emotional side. Now we're going to go into the physical and get rid of some of those toxins. So obviously, fulvic acid is my number one. It amplifies the effectiveness of every other product that we carry. It's going to replenish the trace minerals essential for enzyme function and immune balance. It improves the nutrient absorbency by making vitamins and minerals more bioavailable. It chelates the heavy metals and environmental toxins from tissues. And just FYI, it is also a binder. It's a chelator and a binder. So you would not need another binder if you were doing a detox and you were taking the fulvic acid. So a lot of people ask me for binder advice. I'm like, it's fulvic. It's fulvic. Everything is fulvic. It helps reduce that oxidative stress by neutralizing those free radicals that your immune system is trying to attack. It balances the pH, boosts the mitochondrial function and energy, increases the energy and frequency at the cellular level of your body so that you can become a more high vibrational person. It carries the electrolytes deep into the cells for hydration and repair. Think of yourself as a battery and the electrolytes charge that. And then it enhances cellular communication and immune modulation. So Dr. Linus Pauling is a 2-time Nobel Prize winner, and he said you can trace every sickness, every disease, and every ailment to a mineral deficiency. And that's where fulvic comes in strong and proud. Then we have black seed oil. And black seed oil has over 800 peer-reviewed studies supporting its effect on inflammation, immunity, hormone balance. It is a powerful bridge between body and repair. Reduces the inflammation, balances the immune response by modulating the T cells and cytokines, supports hormone regulation, especially the cortisol and the insulin, promotes healthy liver function and detoxification pathways, improves the skin tissue, fights the fungal and bacteria overgrowth like candida, SIBO, etc. It's anti-parasitic also, improves digestion and eases inflammatory gut conditions, protects against oxidative stress and cellular damage. Wink, wink, right there. Supports blood sugar regulation, aids in respiratory and sinus health, important in the mold and histamine related autoimmunity. So black seed oil has been said to cure everything but death. And for those of you that are watching this as a replay or someone shared that with you, I do want to make a side note on this. Not all black seed oils are the same. This one is sourced out of Turkey, so it's got the best traceability. And the volatile oil in there is typically between 2% and 4%, and ours is 5%. So it's got your omegas in it. It is truly one of the strongest black seed oils on the market. And a lot of them out there have to take a teaspoon or tablespoons of it every day. And this is simply 10 to 20 drops out of it, kind of like CBD, just a little dropper in your mouth. So if you are using a different black seed oil, I would highly suggest you reach out to whoever shared this with you and ask to try ours, because you will feel a definite difference. Then we have soursop tea. Soursop's kind of new to our lineup, but I love the deep dives I've taken on this. It's anti-inflammatory. It helps cleanse and protect the cells, supports the supports the lymphatic flow and drainage, helps regulate digestion and gut function. It's got antimicrobial, antiparasitic. It may inhibit cancer cell growth, especially useful in autoimmunity cancer link. We covered that kind of deep last week on the Detox Divas. Liver protective, supports bile production, provides antioxidants for mitochondrial and immune function support, calms the nervous system, promotes better sleep, regulates the detox pathways, and helps reduce the histamine activity. So I'm curious to see anyone that does have any sort of histamine activity if you're taking soursop every day. And if you're not, if you could start taking that and then get back to me and let me know if you've seen any improvements, especially now with flowers blooming and things like that. But this has been shown in clinical studies to cause cell death to irregular or harmful cells within the body, which is extremely powerful. And if you understand compliant code talk, that is, there you go right there. And then we have gut check. We talked earlier about the gut lining and how that releases those toxins into the bloodstream. And then your immune system sees that as a foreign body. And so it starts attacking it. So this has a special ingredient called Microbiome X. This is a ceremonial grade matcha. It has fulvic concentrate in it. It supports the gut health. It repairs the gut. It balances the microbiome, enhances the nutrient absorption, supports immune regulation, improves digestion, eases food sensitivity, supports hormone detox pathways, boosts mood and clarity, and promotes daily detox and gut resistance. And of course, with everything else in there, and then my favorite superhero fulvic, amplifying all of the effects of all of that, then you've got just a super powerful thing. And I don't know if you know this or not, for those of you that have been talking about micro or gut check to your clients and stuff, but Microbiome X has been shown in case studies to reduce cell protection or there's another typo, sorry guys, a key gut inflammation marker by 70% in just 12 weeks. So it reduces that gut inflammation. And then soul is something I can't go without at all. I love my soul. I crave it. I'll make a warm soup with it. I will add my glucoprotect to it in a warm soup with a little bit of garlic powder, onion powder, and just have a nice cup of broth in the afternoon. Soul's going to help you fight those free radicals too. Again, we're detoxing. We've got to start detoxing. We've got to start making those swaps. Get that laundry soap if you have not. Get that surface cleaner if you have not. Because think about that. When you're using those things with all those gross synthetic smells, you smell that. Where does that go? It goes directly into the brain, right? It goes directly into the bloodstream. It's going to boost the energy production at the mitochondrial level. It's going to help with immune repair. It's going to support hormonal balance through the adaptogenic herbs. It's going to feed the healthy gut bacteria for improved digestion. It's going to regulate the inflammation markers. It's going to help alkalize the body and support oxygenation. Fulvic does that too. Promotes cellular regeneration. That's super cool. Reduces brain fog and improves cognitive clarity, strengthens skin, hair, nails, and detox pathways improve. So if you combine soul and soursop together, they support a really deep healing process across multiple systems, especially the detox, the energy production, and the immune intelligence. So those two could be mixed together even as well. Tulsi trim. Love my original holy basil detox tea, Tulsi trim. That's going to balance your cortisols, reduce the belly bloat, curb the sugar cravings. Remember, sugar is 3 to 10 days to detox from. And so this Tulsi trim is going to help you with that. So is the ashwagandha that is found in a lot of our products. It's going to support the blood sugar regulation and insulin sensitivity. It's going to calm that nervous system without sedation. It's going to boost the metabolism, support the thyroid and the endocrine balance. It's going to fight the candida and the pathogens with antimicrobial herbs. It's going to act as a diuretic and enhance clarity and grounded energy. So Tulsi, or holy basil, as it's also called, is considered a sacred adaptogen. I don't know if you guys knew that. In Ayurveda. And in this formula, it's paired with other adrenal nourishing plants to gently reset stress chemistry and metabolic balance. So pretty beautiful tea right there. I add that to my GLP-1. That's pretty much, other than soul and fulvic, the GLP is all I'm taking right now, just so I can have a good baseline knowledge. My body has an innate knowledge, I guess, really, of those products. So seasons of success. We talked about the emotional detox. So this is such an absolutely beautiful, brilliant collection. Each month, you're going to get a different oil. This is like a oil in the box kind of subscription. You don't have to do all 12 months, but I highly suggest you start this journey if you've got some emotional overload that you want to take care of. This is not just an oil kit. It's a monthly journey through emotional healing, vision alignment, purpose, and purpose work. And each blend supports energetic shifts that are required to truly heal within the body. From letting go of fear to high vibe and prosperity, this collection walks you through releasing the past, reclaiming your worth, I love me, and stepping into leadership over your healing. Emotional rewiring is just as critical as a dietary detox. So this month's oil is See the Big Picture, which I think is so perfect for everything that we're doing right now within the company. We've got different challenges going on. We've got different meetings coming up, and the GLP-1, the reset. We've got all this beautiful stuff going on in the company right now, and I just love that See the Big Picture is the oil of the month, because I see the big picture of what's coming for all of us, and that's health and wealth for those of you that, for those of us that choose to step up. And so this moves you through the seasons of healing, grief, hope, courage, transformation, and empowerment. So release those trapped emotions, supports emotional detox, calms the limbic systems, and reprograms your fear response. Fear is nothing to be afraid of. It is an emotion that comes up to keep you safe. Now, there are situations where fear is warranted, but a lot of that is made up in your mind. You're fearing something that hasn't even happened yet based on a past experience. Promotes nervous system balance through olfactory signaling, raises vibrational frequency. If you are a high vibe person and you have that glow about you, that you're just a happy person, kind of like smiling Kathy right there, your illnesses, it's harder for them to survive in the body when you're high vibing like that. It opens energetic pathways for deeper healing, supports chakra and meridian alignment, encourages clarity, confidence, and spiritual growth, and then fosters your daily self-awareness. And that's a key right there, is being self-aware. Mind, body, and soul. So this is your turning point, my friend. The choice is yours, of course. Everybody has that choice to wake up every morning and determine their day, their emotions, how they're going to feel and respond. And if you've been told that you're incurable before, if you felt your symptoms have been minimized, thank you. If you felt broken, lost, or alone, let this be your invitation to come back to yourself. Your body isn't attacking you. It is communicating. And healing is not just possible, it's inevitable when you remove the interference. So start taking those baby steps, remove that negative self-talk, remove those harmful chemicals, start treating your body with the foods that you know that it's going to need to survive. You just have to make the commitment, and you just have to say yes and step up. So the June freebie alert kind of goes hand in hand with tonight's thing, getting rid of those toxins within the body. The free product this month is the liver support. You grab a free bottle of this. First time orders for say a GLP-1 kit, excellent for weight loss too. You really can't lose the weight if your liver's not functioning. You're going to get this liver support for free. It's got milk thistle, barberry bark, burdock root, which I've got some giant burdock root growing on my property. I'm so excited. Blue plurium root, shown in research to protect the liver and support a healthy immune system. It's got fennel. And then golden seal root to reduce the activity of liver enzymes responsible for breaking down those drugs. So next up, if sharing and caring for the people that you love and care about is important for you, then I encourage you to hop on the next call that starts in about 10 minutes with Coach Marcus. And he is going to talk about the business side of this and how maybe you could learn to if you're coachable and you get rid of those negative self-talks, oh, this isn't for me. I don't have time. I don't know how to do this. I can't talk like her. It's okay. We all started at that ground level before. Hop on Coach Marcus's call and just see how beautiful this company is. And I look forward to seeing you on these calls and bringing guests and sharing the products, because Coach Marcus is going to bring the heat for you. So thank you so much for being a part of the Detox Divas, whether this is your first call, whether this is a call that you're on every week. I do appreciate you. And I hope tonight Uh, got a couple triggers out of you. One in vocabulary and mindset, because that is where it can really start. And you are worthy of that healing and you are worthy of optimal health. So, with that, I will close this week's call. Appreciate and love you all very much. Thank you for the support. And let's reset and glow, shall we? Bye bye, everyone.